tune into Turntable Taxi on KSJE Saturday nights at 8 o'clock. Each week, we select a musical style and play 78s, 45s, and 33 RPM records. Some of our themes will include swing music, blues, heart-wrenching torch songs, early rock and roll, girl groups, soul, and R&B.
KSJE is supported by San Juan Regional Medical Center, your community hospital with a rich heritage that dates back to before New Mexico was a state. We've been improving the health of the Four Corners since 1910. As a nonprofit hospital, San Juan Regional Medical Center is a values-driven organization. We strive to deliver on our mission to personalize health care and create vitality and enthusiasm in healing. We are here for you when you need us, offering a comprehensive range of inpatient, outpatient, and emergency care services. 10 minutes past 8 o'clock. It's Monday morning, June the 10th. Good morning, everyone. I'm Scott Micklin. Thanks for tuning in to KSJE 90.9 FM, the information and cultural beacon of the Four Corners, broadcasting from San Juan College. Special good morning to our viewers who are also tuning in to watch us live from the KSJE Visual Studios on the KSJE Facebook page and YouTube channel. We're glad you're here, everybody. Coming up in just a moment, my guests on the program this morning from downtown Farmington. We're going to be talking about all the big projects happening in downtown Farmington and some of the events happening as well. It is Art Walk week, of course. This Friday, the Art Walk is happening in downtown Farmington. That's just one of the many events we're going to be talking about this morning in the next few moments right here on KSJE. So we hope you'll stay tuned for that. We'll also be talking about that big renovation project and reworking project of Main Street in downtown Farmington and what's going on with that. That and more in the next few moments, so stay tuned to KSJE. Later on this hour, as we do on Mondays, we'll talk technology with my guest, Lewis Campbell from Synergy Computer Systems here in Farmington. So we hope you'll stick around for that as well. And then after the news at 9 a.m., Mick Hess will take over the airwaves, playing more music from Anton Bruckner. This morning, you'll be hearing Bruckner's Symphony No. 1 on Roving with the Arts, so we hope you'll stay tuned for that. Connect with us, of course, on social media. You can like us on Facebook. You can subscribe to our YouTube channel. Follow us on Twitter, of course, and check out our brand new page on Instagram as well. And if you're looking for something to do this week or weekend or later on this month, we invite you to go check out the KSJE Regional Events Calendar at ksje.com. We've compiled a lot of events going on, not just in San Juan County, but throughout the region, so we hope you will check it out. And here's just a look at a few of the things that are going on. The Memories and Inspirations Art Exhibit on display now here at the San Juan College Henderson Fine Arts Center Art Gallery. New Business Tax Workshop happening here on campus. The Four Corners Photographic Society exhibit hanging at the Farmington Museum at Gateway Park these days. There's a Focus on Farmington coffee event happening this Wednesday at Pinion Hills Golf Course. You can check that out. The Jazz Jam, of course, also happening on Wednesday. Texas 4000 arriving at the Connolly Hospitality House on June 13th of this week. Durango Music Festival going on, and there's more and more, including the San Juan River Balloon Rally in Bloomfield happening this Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. So lots of things to check out throughout the region. Just go to our website to get some ideas, ksje.com. It's Monday morning here on KSJE, and welcome to the KSJE microphones. My guest this morning from downtown Farmington, Sherry Roach is here. She is a downtown project coordinator. Good morning.
Good morning, Scott.
Welcome back to KSJE.
Thank you.
Good to have you here. Also, Michael Bullock is here, the downtown Farmington director. Good morning to you.
Good morning.
Thank you for coming in as well.
Oh, yeah, it's very good to be here.
Welcome back to both of you, because there's always stuff going on in downtown Farmington, some big projects I know folks have heard about, some other things that are going to be happening now that summer has finally arrived. And so we want to let folks know about all of those things. So that's why you're here with me this morning. And let's start, I guess, with the big question, and that has to be the big downtown development redevelopment.
Streetscape.
The streetscape,
Downtown
yes.
revitalization efforts, which include a major infrastructure project, which includes streetscape. It's on track, and we've been working on maximizing the features within that streetscape and fine-tuning some stuff, and we're
Right.
expecting to see some plans here in a few weeks.
Okay. The designs are finishing up pretty much, right?
Yes, they're coming together quite nicely. It's exciting.
Right. And the idea is to kind of put in the roundabouts, of course, and make it just one lane in each direction.
So some of the major features are going to be a road diet going from 4 lanes to 2 lanes, increasing the walkability for pedestrians, which in our case are the customers for our downtown merchants. We're going to be widening the sidewalks and replacing our aged traffic controls to roundabouts, which are much prettier.
Right. And apparently better for traffic control in a lot of studies.
A lot of safety features
right?
within a
So-
roundabout design,
Yeah.
yes, and this will allow us to slow down the traffic, create a better, safe walking environment.
And a lot of folks were expecting this to already be underway, but I know, and we talked about this before we came on the air, the city has been quite, I guess,
Adamant
is a word, yes.
to work with our downtown businesses and their needs, and their peak retail season is November and December. It's not a surprise. So we need 10 months to do everything that we want to do, and we want to make sure that we strategically place that in between our peak retail seasons.
got it. So everything is getting ready to go, and then January, as soon as the weather cooperates, you'll be groundbreaking. We'll get out the gold shovels and go.
Yes.
Okay. Looking forward to it.
Yes.
And I know it's very exciting. I know a lot of folks are excited, and there's a lot of other kind of behind-the-scenes things, too, that are part of this, like utility work and electrical work and things like that, right?
Coordination. Yes, our electric department has already done their power grid upgrades in our alleyways, and we're doing
Okay.
some minor asphalt replacement for that.
Nice. So all these things are going to start
Yes.
and are happening. So very, very excited to hear that is going to be happening, but not before Christmas.
No.
So we don't impact the merchants. So that,
No.
I'm sure they're happy about that, too.
They are. They're very pleased that we've been working very closely with them. This gives them additional time to prepare. They have those that are reporting into us as far as revenues and just kind of the feel of the business is that they have all reported an increase this year. Usually December is their biggest month, and some of them have just even been increasing beyond that, and they haven't even seen the slowdown that they normally do in January and February. We've had some of our
Wow.
restaurants report that they have been increased, that this past month was their highest month ever in business,
Wow. In May.
in May.
How about that? Well, good for them. That's great. And that's good for downtown, and that's good for the city, I think, right?
Yeah, we love hearing those positive stories from our downtown merchants.
Sure. And Micah Bullock, I know you're a part of some other downtown organizations around the state, and so, I mean, if you have a healthy downtown, doesn't that mean that your community is kind of a healthier place, economically speaking?
That's right. Yeah, a healthy downtown is an indicator of a healthy city. Period. So,
Great.
when your downtown is sort of, what's the word? You know, I'm going to use the B word, blighted.
Right.
Ours is not, but when it is unhealthy like that, it's an indicator that your city's not doing too well.
Sure.
At all. So I think that this is a good sign.
Good to know. And
Yeah.
unfortunately, there are plenty of examples of blighted downtowns across our state and
Oh,
region.
yeah.
And so, and I imagine it's kind of a slippery slope that once some things start to happen, it kind of does get to that B word pretty quickly. If you're not
yes,
careful.
It can for sure, and that's one of the reasons well, now the city, but one of the reasons we started with the Main Street program. We joined New Mexico Main Street back in 1996 and have been a member, a Main Street community since then. First as a nonprofit, and now as part of the city, and it's been very beneficial. I think it's kind of helped us weather some things.
Sure.
Downtown for sure, and the city in general. So.
Which is great. Well, good. And speaking of downtown and things that are happening downtown, summer has started, and so you're off and running with downtown events and festivals and things that are happening, right?
Yeah, last week the Makers Market started on Thursday, and it runs every Thursday from 4:30 to dusk until October 24th. So this year it's ending 1 week early only because October 31st is Halloween.
You've got another event.
Yeah,
on
we have
Halloween
another
anyway,
event.
so, yeah.
So that was a little too much, but it's every Thursday night. And then TGIF started last week as well.
Right.
And for those who are used to it being in Orchard Park, it's actually moved to the Civic Center front lawn this year. And both this year, the Chili Pod and Dickey's Barbecue are switching off
For food vendors.
for food vendors.
Got
yeah,
it.
yeah.
Okay.
So and they have a good lineup of bands, and so it should be a pretty fun event too on Fridays. So
Very true. And that starts about 11:30, doesn't it?
starts at 11, runs
11 to
till 1.
1.
Okay. And it's a great opportunity for folks to come and either bring their lunch or buy their lunch from one of those vendors. And it's at the Civic Center, as you mentioned, which if you haven't been to the new renovated Civic Center and the landscaping in front of the Civic Center, that's where the new TGIF is, right?
Yep, yeah. So it'll be out there on the lawn, and it's going to be a lot of fun. Yeah.
Still some tables and chairs they bring over for that
Yep.
event, like
Yeah,
they did at the park?
Yep.
Okay.
Same exact thing, setup kind of thing, just over there.
Nice.
And so both of those events started last week and are really a lot of fun. So I encourage people to, if you have homemade, handmade, or homegrown things you want to sell, you can download the little vendor form from the downtown's page on the city's website.
Okay.
Or you can call me at my office.
Okay. And this is for
Or
the,
you can just show up that day and sign up then.
for the Makers Market.
For
And
the Makers Market,
the idea
yep.
is that it has to be homegrown, homemade, something.
Yeah, it has to be homemade, handmade, or homegrown. We do allow some collectible things like antiques and collectibles, but for the most part, it needs to be something that has been, handmade.
Okay. Or grown or something.
Yep,
So,
yep.
great.
And-
And again, this is on Thursdays.
Thursdays, yeah, from 4:30 to dusk, and then this week on
And is it right around Orchard, or is it all on Main Street?
It's on Orchard.
Right
in
at the
in
park.
Orchard, yep.
At the park?
In the park, yeah.
Okay.
And
Yes.
then this Friday
Right.
is the Summer Art Walk.
That's right. The other big event.
That's right, and it's going to be really big. We have a lot of really great stuff. We have stuff in Orchard Park. We have stuff behind Studio 116 in their pocket park. We have a really cool, like several places have bands. Artifacts is going to have a band. Wall Art's going to have a band. They're going to have a food truck at Wall Art, which is really cool.
Nice.
There's a band.
If I
at
walk
Studio
from one end of
116.
Main Street to the other, I need food by the time I get to Walmart.
Exactly,
So I'm
yeah.
glad to hear that's
Yeah.
going to be there.
And
Get your
then
steps in. It's
yeah.
only 6 blocks.
And
Yeah.
then the new contemporary Native American gallery, Arrow Soul, they're actually doing a paint jam out behind in the alley. So they're going to be doing live painting, and that's actually going to be all weekend long.
Okay.
Friday
so
through
people
Sunday.
can Friday night through Sunday. They're just going to have a big the church behind what is that
GC Harvest. or
yeah,
something.
thank you. GC, I had a little
Okay.
break there. GC Harvest has partnered with them and is allowing them to paint the back wall of the church. So they're having a big.
And so this is the church maybe off of Broadway, but they
Yeah,
share the
yeah.
alley, which
Yep.
would be off
They
of
share
Main,
the alley
and so
with
that's
Arrow
what you're
Soul,
talking
and-
about.
Yep, yeah.
And
So
this
that
will
back
be a
alley.
collaboration between several artists.
Yeah, there's going to
Come
be.
together.
I think there's something like 10, and they're coming from all over the place.
Okay.
Not just. I mean, there's a fairly well-known guy named Saba. He lives in Las Cruces, but he's from here, and he's kind of partners with Arrow Soul.
Neat.
He's partnered up with them. He's going to be here, and several people from around the country are coming in for it. So it should be a really fun, really cool
Neat.
event.
And is this part of the Art in the Alleys project that you have been talking about?
Unofficially, it's part of that.
Okay.
This
All right.
is kind of a more
Part of the bigger movement.
Kind of a
Yeah.
spin-off? Okay.
Yeah, it's and this is they kind of wanted to do this on their own, and they wanted this is going to be something that changes periodically, unlike some of the other murals which are permanent. This one's going to be a sort of a mural that
Evolving,
yeah.
changing. Cool.
a changing and evolving mural. So it'll be good to come down and see it because you're
Sure.
going to want to come more than once.
And check it out.
Yeah.
And this whole idea is to kind of make the alleys a bit more user-friendly or
Yeah.
just a little bit more
Exciting.
presentable, colorful,
Yeah,
all
yeah,
those things.
That's where all our parking is.
Right.
It's on the back side of the building, so
No. I always hear there's no parking downtown. I don't know what you're talking about. There's no parking
nothing but
downtown.
parking
Come
downtown.
on, Michael.
there's parking everywhere. We have parking spaces coming out our
And
ears.
it's closer than the mall. When you
Yeah,
park
it
at the
really
mall,
is.
It really is.
Yeah.
That's true. So,
Closer than Walmart.
well, and that's part of what you all been working on too, is to have some of these stores and restaurants that have maybe access from their alley or the backside that's actually steps from parking to open up those back entrances and allow people to come in and into their stores from there and utilize that extra access
Exactly.
that they've always had. Maybe have not used it. So
And that's the point of point of the Art in the Alley project, is just make them more pleasant to walk down. So we're talking to property owners about trying to keep the alleys clean and just
show them that way.
kind
of show them off a little bit.
If you're using
Pride
your
of
back
ownership.
door, yeah.
Very good.
If you're using your back door, that's just as important as your front door. So
Very true. Well, it's a summer art walk, and it's on this Friday, June 14th. Gosh, should be here before we know it. I can't believe
yeah.
the middle of June already. We're talking
Yeah.
about stuff. That's crazy. But
And headquarters will be open as well for those that still have questions about the construction or any of these other projects that we're talking about today.
okay,
and we're hosting some artists in there as well. So that's
good to know. And again, for anyone that's listening and is like, well, I never heard roundabouts. What are they talking about roundabouts? I didn't know that was happening. It's really, there's plenty of information available, and if you just stop by, and I know you guys are great about explaining what's going to happen, when it's going to happen, how it's going to happen, all these
And
different
why.
things, and why. Yes. So all
With
these
lots
things.
of case studies. Yeah.
Sure. And lots of designs and lots of pictures and lots of ideas of how it'll look. So
Yeah.
we're all excited about seeing it come to fruition. So that will be excited. And the headquarters, again, is located, because it's in the name.
Yes, 119 West Main.
There you go.
Main Street's headquarters, 119 West Main. It's right next to the Chili Pod. It's center of the block, just west of the Orchard intersection.
There you go. On the south side of Maine.
South side.
Is where it would be, everybody. So stop in and say hello, see some art. And again, the art walks keep growing. It seems to me there's more people whenever I go down. It's more of a social event for me than anything.
yeah.
That I see so many people that I know and end up chatting and visiting and catching up, and then I miss some of the art. But
Make a whole night of it. Come
need
down
to.
with your family. Have have some food at one of our awesome restaurants downtown.
right.
Yeah. We have.
What I do is just graze from place to place as I go
Exactly.
from place.
Yeah, and we have new businesses participating this year. Our kind of regulars are in there, but
Right.
Game Changers is hosting an artist this time.
Nice.
and so we're excited about that. We've got obviously we've got the two new galleries that opened up that are not only doing their normal stuff, but they have are hosting artists as well. So
Nice. Well, that's great, and they're great events, and I know a lot of folks and look forward to them. So this is the summer one, and when there's a lot of extra stuff going on downtown, as you mentioned, lots of music, lots of food, lots of art. So
yeah.
we need to check it out. You mentioned the Pocket Park, which I think is another great addition to downtown, and I think a lot of kudos to both of you and to Karen Ellsbury, whose property it is on, but it really has transformed that little space behind her.
It
building.
has. It has. Yeah, she and Pat now host the Wednesday night jazz jams. They're
Right.
back to the
Outdoors,
Pocket Park,
right, right
for the
behind.
summer. So every Wednesday from 7 to 9, you can go down there. They usually have a food truck in there besides
Perfect.
the band, so you can buy food. I think you can still order from Chili Pod, and they'll deliver to you as well. So.
Nice.
That's been a really good addition to downtown. Just taking that dead gravel desert and turning it into a vibrant and usable space that's just a joy to be in.
Exactly. And again, it's a free concert,
It's a free concert.
and every Wednesday.
Yeah, and
And-
they sell some swag. They have a merchandise table, but they're trying to raise money for the San Juan Jazz
They asked
Society.
for
But
some donations, for the
sure.
Jazz
but
Society.
it's a free event, and just I can't recommend it enough. It's just a lot of fun. They usually have an artist painting live. I did that one time.
Nice.
That was really fun, and then they auction off the painting. So that's really cool.
And we've had some other musicians book the space as well on other nights as well. Now.
Yeah.
Cool.
So that's really cool, and that's a really good addition. That Pocket Park has been a really good addition, and we're working on several others. So
Right.
yeah.
And this comes from some grants or some other funding that you're able to get a hold of to help pay for some of these things. Because I know when you try to make a park out of a piece of gravel,
It takes a little money.
It takes a little money and takes a little elbow grease and effort, right? And
Yeah.
vision. So how can
Yeah,
are we
so
able to pay for some of this stuff?
that pocket park was funded partially by a grant, and then a lot of volunteer labor. It was entirely built by volunteers. So,
Okay.
we have another pocket park that we're working on currently now. It's getting close to being finished. Next door to, it's in between the Journey Church and downtown Junkers in the space that used to be the General Supplies greenhouse. And that's going to have a really cool historic photo mural, life-size historic photo mural on the facade of that,
Right.
where the Grand
was
Union
the-
Tea Company used to be.
The tea company, right?
Yeah.
And the lady that owned it was standing in front of it and will be part of that mural, correct?
yeah,
And I forget her name.
It's Fanny Paxton.
Thank you.
Yeah, she'll be. You'll be
In
able
all
to
of
take
her turn of the
selfies with her.
century glory,
Yeah.
I think,
Yeah.
too, right? I mean,
Yeah.
I don't
Yeah.
know how she wore what she wore in Farmington, New Mexico.
I don't
but-
know. It looks warm.
Yeah. Maybe it was winter. I don't know. But
Maybe
yeah.
I don't know, but yeah, you'll be able to take selfies. Where in fact the panel, the reason it's a little delayed is the panels were damaged a couple times in shipping. So we have one extra of Fanny that's inside. It's mounted inside the store, so you can go in there and take selfies
cool.
with Fanny right now if you want.
Okay.
But that's going to be really
Good to
cool.
know.
They're working.
Now,
on
you
the-
haven't cut out her head, so I can stick my face
No,
through.
no,
and
no, we don't
it's
have
not that. Okay, all right.
this is,
I
this
just
is a little
wanted-
more educational than that, but
Leave it to me to go to the
that would have been cool.
tourist trap, but okay.
That would have been cool, yeah.
Well, if we get
didn't
one
think
more
of
that's
that.
a little dinged, there's your idea.
Maybe
You're welcome.
we can. Yeah, thanks, Scott.
Yeah,
Patent pending, right?
That's right. Sure.
Will the fence that they're putting up? They're taking down the really ugly chain link, and they're using recycled steel round bar from that's rusted and has really great patina.
Right.
They're using that as the fencing material. So it's really going to be neat.
Okay.
It's just a phenomenal looking. You can see part of it already if you go down there. So
Okay. Another cool part of downtown,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
So very exciting.
yeah.
Sherry?
No,
I was
and
just
that's
saying-
not all.
Yeah, I was going to say
See?
we applied for a grant. We'll find out at the end of this month if we got it from the AARP for the Breezeway Plaza project, which people may be familiar with the space between Lloyd's Carpet and M&M Tax, right across the street from TJ's Diner.
Right.
People use that as a pass through to get from the parking lot to Main Street, and then a lot of people who go to TJ's use that, and we want to make that and any of the restaurants across the street.
Sure.
Or any of the other businesses for that matter. We wanted to make that, right now it's an asphalt desert.
Right.
It's not very pleasant, so I was working with Rochelle Crosby, the parks planner from Parks Rec and Cultural Affairs, and she and I put together this grant proposal. This is the second time we've applied for it. Last year we were a little too ambitious. I think we had a $250,000 project. Now we have about a $20,000 project. So we've slashed the budget and kind of gotten a little more realistic on that. So we think we have a good chance of getting
Shade sales and some other.
festival lighting and some plants and different things. We're looking at cutting into the asphalt for some water retention so that we can
It's
still
certainly a
harvest some-
design that can be expanded on and grow.
Yeah,
Nice.
and we're
Okay.
looking at how to do this in phases. So we eventually want to get up to that big project, but
Right.
it'll be just small increments.
Okay.
But
It's certainly
that-
nicer than it is now, which is
Oh,
just
yeah.
a slab of
Yeah,
asphalt that you
yeah.
walk over
Yeah,
to.
and trash blows in there, and it's just not real pleasant. But we're looking at seating. We've been experimenting with recycled pallets. We created a few chairs for the sobering center a few weeks ago as an experiment, and so we're looking at some Adirondack style pallet chairs.
Okay.
For there because they're free. Basically, just takes a little labor.
Right.
So that's a really cool project. We also just applied for a grant for behind actually Aerosol and Nijoni Trading. There's a little courtyard back there, and we're looking at putting another pocket park in there. So,
Nice.
and that'll be nice because that can be shared by Nijoni Trading, Aerosol Trading, and the Navajo Art and Culture Museum. So all three of those, a city facility and two private businesses will have access to that little pocket park and be able to use it for special events. And they're already talking about how they can create, because they're all Native American based entities.
Sure.
They're talking about how they can come up with events and sort of help all three each
Nice.
out. So.
And these are kind of spread out throughout downtown as well. They're not all kind of
That's
clumped
right,
together
yeah.
as
Yeah.
these pocket
They're all in
parks that you're
different
talking
blocks.
about. So
Yep.
that's kind of another cool part of this as well, I would think. So
And you can't see all of them from Main Street. You have to walk around,
Yeah, you have to walk around to the other side.
or view them between your parking and the fronts of the stores, and it's kind
little
of fishy.
hidden gem.
Exactly. That's
I think.
exactly what we're trying to do. Is a bunch of little hidden gems, and that's the other goal is there's a garage back there that's not used. It's a really nice, well-built cinder block garage. But the goal is to actually make that a viable space for a business, maybe a micro cafe or a small gallery where the entrance is actually from the alley. So you'd have to walk down the alley to get in there. But it so it has kind of a secret. It's the owner has
Right.
dubbed it the secret garden. So
Okay.
it has kind of a secret password.
You gotta
kind
know
of
where you're
vibe.
going to
Yeah,
get
you got to
there.
know where
Yeah.
you're going to get there, and that kind of thing. But it's really cool, and it's gonna the idea is really neat. And,
Neat. No shortage of ideas for downtown, that's for sure, right?
Yeah.
And
Yep.
so
I just constantly am looking for grants to apply for or sources for funding, and
nice.
that's
But you've
kind
been
of part-
successful, and so that's good to hear.
Yeah,
That,
both of the current ones Studio 116's Pocket Park, and then the one at Downtown Junkers, those were both partially funded by grants from the New Mexico Resiliency Alliance through New Mexico Main Street.
Okay. Very good. Let me ask you a little bit about signage, because I know that's important for any successful downtown to point people in the right direction and things along that line, and ensure that's something that I think you're working with, right, to try to help us find our way to these cool new little additions to downtown
Yes.
and more.
In addition to what the traffic division's been doing with the wayfinding signage region-wide, we're also looking at ways to provide positive guidance for those that are trying to get around downtown that aren't coming to downtown, but those also that are coming as a destination to Main Street as well. It's called the Off-Site Signage Program. We're looking at ways to keep trucks on the state highway as they come through downtown, they go around downtown, but then also to be able to navigate and through the actual historical district. Roundabouts are going to require a lane reduction on either end of the corridor, so this specifically outlines how that lane reduction is going to happen.
I see. To let motorists know what to expect, I guess, as they're
Yes,
coming in.
it also includes bike lanes, so where the bike lanes begin and end, and where the bike lanes merge with traffic, what also is known as a share-o. It's a shared use in the travel lane at certain low speeds. A bike and a vehicle can share those lanes. So all of that signage is in these plans.
Okay. And that will be coming soon to downtown, if they're not there already?
Undetermined,
Okay.
but in the works.
But it's definitely something that's planned for downtown,
Yes.
right? And that's the whole idea, is downtown and Main Street moves to a more multimodal way of being. This is part of that.
Yes, and this is in coordination with our traffic division's overall connection with his bike and ped plan. There's also a regional bike and ped plan, so we all work together to do our part in making all those connections.
And these complete streets is, I think, the term I was looking for, too, which
Yes,
is
that
what
all fits
we're
in the
all
Complete Streets concept.
talking about. And again, making the streets accessible to whether you're driving a car or riding a bike or pushing a stroller or walking your dog. And that's another downtown improvement, which is a little more pet-friendly stuff downtown.
Yes,
Yeah,
we're seeing more people bring their pets downtown.
Okay, very good.
And parks, the Parks Department, they were kind enough to sort of find us 3 doggy bag dispensers. So those are placed strategically around Main Street. There's one at Orchard Park, one across the street from the Allen Theater, kind of that area, and then one out in front of Lloyd's Carpet. So
Nice.
so you can walk around Main Street, and if you're
If you forget your bag, there's no
if you
excuse
forget
because you
your
can pick
bag,
one
there's,
up. And
there's one there. You can grab one, and so it's really
Nice.
really nice. So
Very exciting.
Yeah.
Well, that's great. And then, of course, there's an event coming up in July that I'll ask you both about, because that's a pretty big event as well. I think it's one of downtown's biggest events, if I'm not mistaken.
it is
That's the
One of our
Rod
largest
Run.
events.
Yeah, it's a pretty big event.
Right.
the Hot Rod Run.
Yeah.
Four Corners Rod Run and Open Car Show.
Okay. July 20th.
July 20th. Yep. It'll be from we've shortened the event or moved it back to an evening event. We found that people didn't really like being out in the heat of July on asphalt.
Well, I can see that, right? I understand. Yeah. And you haven't gotten a grant to air condition all of downtown Farmington, so that's not going to happen.
Yeah,
so
we
I
can't
understand
put that big shade structure down the whole.
A big giant sail would probably be a big giant sail. Yeah.
But so it's 5 to 10 p.m.
Okay.
We've got a really great band out of Las Cruces coming. They're called the Rockabilly Strangers. They're a lot of fun. I saw them in Alamogordo, actually, and.
Neat.
And then we have some opening local acts that will be opening
we have some
for them.
local acts that are opening for us as well.
Okay.
And Beyond is playing as well. So
nice.
And we're still working on the third one, but it's we anticipate a really good year. We think we're going to get some really good cars. We've got some great entertainment lined up. All the restaurants are really excited about it.
Okay.
There's no shortage of dining options downtown.
That's for sure. That's true.
We have 13 eating establishments downtown. People may not know that we have that many.
Right.
But
when you stop and count them all, you do. So that's great.
So it's going to be a lot of fun.
And
Nice.
I think they've expanded the categories this year.
Yeah, we've expanded the category. Well, we've kind of combined a few categories, but we've added a few. So we have, in addition to your sort of standard hot rod and collectible car year categories. So it starts at 1942 and earlier, and then goes up in increments of about 10 years. But we also have a lowrider category. We have a rat rod category. We have a truck category, a 4x4 category, a motorcycle category, best under construction category.
Okay, all right.
So there's just all sorts of really cool.
Neat.
If you own a vehicle and it's at all close to presentable, even if it's not, you can bring it down and show it off.
All right. Now I'm familiar with all the terms you mentioned, except for rat run.
Rat rod.
Rat rod.
Yeah,
Pardon
rat
me.
rod.
Rat run's some different event. We don't even want to have that.
No, that would be
but
weird.
Rat rod is what?
Well,
what is
it's
that?
kind of a car that's it's bits and pieces, and it's not necessarily painted. It might have a rusted patina.
Okay.
It's got it's not your sort of typical hot rod, finely finished. They might
in progress, maybe.
Well, not necessarily in progress. It's usually
it's supposed to look like that,
or close, as finished as it's going to be. But a lot of times for upholstery, they'll use like old blankets and stuff.
I see.
And it's just kind of a cool. It's made to look like it's still in progress.
I see.
But
gotcha. But that's a category.
It is a category, and it's
entries.
a popular. Yeah, it's a popular thing in the last probably 10 or 15 years. I'm guessing on that.
Okay.
But, so there are a fair amount of those around, and
nice.
And people like to check them out. I mean, they're pretty neat.
Yeah, I would think so. Okay, and it's an open show, right?
It's an open show. Yeah, there's a
sign up.
You can enter. I think it's $20 per car.
Okay.
I think that's right. Up until the 15th, so they have until the 15th to get their entry form in. It goes up a little bit.
Okay. Are we talking June 15th or July 15th?
June 15th.
So that's this week, everybody.
Yep.
And then, and we can get that information on the city's website?
You can go to fmtn.org/rodrun.
Okay.
And you can download the form to enter.
For entries, and I think they're still looking for vendors.
Yep. Yeah, you can download a vendor form or a sponsor form if we're looking for sponsors as well. So
great.
If anybody's interested.
Still trying to figure out a way to get my hybrid in there, but we'll find a category for that.
I'll join you with that category.
It would fit in the night
in the trying harder category.
I think it's 2007 to present.
Okay.
Okay, I'll look for your entry.
All right, there you go, Sherry. You and me. We'll get them in there. That's great. Well, that's another big event coming up, and that attracts a lot of people down.
It does. Yeah, we get about 8,000 or 9,000 people, I think. So, that's been the average for the last few years, and
it's always cool to see Main Street kind of shut down with all those great, and the vintage cars I think are so great because they match the architecture and some of that so well, and when you see them kind of just lined up in front of those stores, it's a great photo op, and the kids, I think,
the kids
love
like
to
them.
look and touch
Well-
and sit and steer and, do all the things they can try to do on some of them, not all of them.
Exactly. We're going to have a touch a truck section. We're also
Yeah, I don't want
getting-
people to say, "Oh, the guy on the radio said I could touch this antique car."
Yeah, not the
Priceless
antique
car.
cars, but the
Like,
touch a truck
no, you
section.
Can't. No, you can do it.
But we're also getting people may remember that last year we had the Batmobile, the Adam West
Right,
Batmobile.
that's right.
That is coming back this
Okay.
year, and we've added Bumblebee from the Transformer films.
Yeah.
So it's the Camaro Bumblebee.
Okay.
But the really cool thing is he actually talks and interacts with people. So
Well, I would hope so.
yeah, so
Yeah.
it's pretty cool. So we're excited about Bumblebee being here as well. So,
Right?
Yeah.
As part of the Rod Run. So
Yeah.
that's
So
great.
family-friendly event. Bring the whole family.
Nice.
Enjoy the whole
Yeah.
evening.
And downtown merchants are participating. They're going to have stuff out on the out in front of their stores, and so
Excellent.
there'll be plenty of shopping opportunities as well. So.
Okay. Well, mark your calendars, everybody. July 20th. It is the Rod Run. In addition to the other events we've been talking about this morning, including this Friday's Summer Art Walk on June 14th, and then of course the Makers Market, which started last week.
Yeah,
And,
started last week, and
again every Thursday downtown.
Yeah, all the way through October. So
Okay.
so that's pretty cool.
People can find out more about all that stuff. And again,
Yeah.
you've got a Facebook page. I know you post a lot of stuff.
We have a Facebook page. We have. You can also go to fmtn.org/downtown,
Okay.
and there's all
See
sorts
all
of
the other-
information on there as well.
Okay.
Yeah,
Good to know.
Facebook page is Downtown Farmington, a Main Street project.
Right.
yeah. So if you type in,
Find the right one. 'cause-
yeah, and if you just start typing in downtown Farmington,
it should
it usually
pop
is the
up.
first
Yes.
one to pop up. But.
Perfect.
And
Well,
we also are on Instagram, and it's the same.
Okay.
Same. So look for us on Instagram as well and follow us.
Good to know.
All the event page on the Facebook page has all these events on there so that you can say you're
Excellent.
interested or you're going or share it with people.
Right.
It's very easy to share those
Very
ideas and get your friends and to come down with you.
Exactly. Make it a party and make it an evening out. So as we've said, and there's lots of ways to do that. So that's great. Lots of exciting things. It's great to have you guys here to talk a little bit about them with me, and we'll have you back before the end of summer. How's that?
Yeah, that
Yes.
sounds great.
All right. Perfect. Thank you both very much.
Thank you, Scott.
Thank you.
You're welcome. My guest this morning from downtown Farmington, Sherry Roach is here. Michael Bullock is here on KSJE. Back with more in just a moment, everybody. This program is supported by San Juan Health Partners Urology, providing a wide range of personalized services for the whole family, including children. Our caring professionals are dedicated to helping meet your urology health needs with skill, experience, and service you need. For a complete listing of our services and to learn more, visit sanjuanhealthpartners.com or call 505-609-6300. San Juan Health Partners Urology, a division of San